Well, welcome back to D-Loney V8 Motorsports. We are going to take a look at an A-Fuel Funnycar. We're here with Ron Hugley, Funnycar driver. You might have known him from the Tiki Warrior days and extremely long burnouts. So Ron is building his own car here. It's under construction. It's getting close, and he's going to tell us about it. What is this thing?
Hey Dave. Well, it's an injected nitro funny car. Yeah, like Dave said, had a really special 10 years with Dave Bainey and the Tiki Warrior, and Dave Loney, Brett Davis, and then Scott, the crew chief. We went all over the world and really had a great time. Set a real good name for ourselves, all thanks to our big brother. Well, I'm calling this this is the outhouse racing. We were penthouse with Bainey. This is from the penthouse to the outhouse. I'm in my 2-car garage. When I was 5 years old, I saw my first nitro funny car, and I was blown away with it. It was like a 13-year-old boy seeing boobies for the first time.
Oh, great. Okay. Now we need parental guidance suggested.
You should know me, Dave.
Right.
Anyways, it was. As a 5-year-old, I saw my first nitro funny car, and it was incredible. And I told my mom and dad I want a nitro funny car when I grow up. So, flash forward, unfortunately, we lost Dave Bainey to cancer in 2018. We retired the Tiki Warrior, and it was like, I want to do my own car. I really, whatever it's going to take, I want to do my own car. So, bought a car, a double B car, and proceeded to basically cut that thing up and start over. Not much of that car was left.
This is that car.
This is that car. I took the car up to Randy Parker's race shop up in Puyallup, Washington. Randy built the Tiki car. Randy and I are lifelong friends, and initially we thought we were going to raise the engine up in that chassis. Well, the chassis was bent. There was a lot of problems, so we cut the car off from here forward and threw all of that away, cut the roll cage off, so just have a little bit of tubing here. And myself, mostly Randy, most of this is Randy, but I went up and did a lot of work on it too, helped fit pipe and everything. This is what we built. So TFX block, Alan Johnson stage 2, nitro heads. These are what all, actually this set is from Jerry Tolliver's car in like 99. It was a pretty common head that was used with all of the fuel guys. Everybody talks about the run when Tony Schumacher beat Doug Kalita and ran that 4-second run that was the world record at the time. They were on stage 2 heads. Alan Johnson makes some really good parts. The one thing that's different, I've always wanted, I've worked with nitromethane injected, I've worked with nitromethane blown. I can't afford a blown nitro deal, it's just way too much money. Injected nitro is a lot easier on parts. It's kind of ironic, nitromethane is hard on parts, but this is a setup similar to what a gentleman by the name of Tom Topping created back in, I want to say, late 80s, early 90s. Tom Topping with Brooks Brown and then Marshall, they ran an injected nitro dragster, and he just used a blower manifold and put a little spacer on it with an injector on top of it. And so that's what I did. I used what parts I had. It's similar to what a current A-fuel dragster would be, other than the heads are not the fathead style, and I don't have that manifold. I've also decided, a lot of people don't understand or really know that an injected nitro car, they only go to about 6,900 to 7,100 RPM, and I'm going to use a points mag. I'm going to use a Mallory Super 10 done by Tom Cirillo. These are hopped up, and they work really well. Points only become an issue when you go over like 9,500 RPM, so the points mag is going to work great. Sean Dill, Alchemy Fuel System, Alchemy Engineering, did the fuel pump, did my fuel system stuff. So 36-gallon pump, JT Stewart Mark II barrel valve. This is a vintage Hercules, a Crowler Hercules injector. You would have seen these in the late 70s and early 80s on Garlitz's car. Gary Beck ran these throughout a lot of his career. I got it because it looks cool. I just think it looks really cool. What else can I say? Jeff Moniz, you might know him. He drives the quarter pounder, Van Gundy, Clark, and Moniz. He really talented kid down in Southern California. He built a fuel tank for me. It's about a 16-gallon fuel tank, so hold enough nitromethane. Yeah, I don't have power tools. I mean, I've got some air tools, but a lot of it is with a hacksaw and a file. And as the guys know, I was very thankful for what we had with Dave, and I will always be indebted to him for what he gave us the opportunity to do. But it's been kind of fun banging this thing out in my garage. I got to roll the body out. It's a whole torture. I mean, it's trying to share the garage. Gwen's very patient and understanding. She's been a big part of making this happen. I got to thank her. Gwen, thank you.
Hey, one question. You talked about this earlier. Fuel lines are going into the heads. Tell us about it, Ron.
Sure. So, on the blown nitro cars and the injected nitro cars, they run what are called down nozzles. They'll run a nozzle that's on a spring on a poppet, and at a certain pressure, the fuel, they open up and they shoot right on the top, into the intake port right on the top of the valve, getting close as you can to the cylinder. So that's what this is. This is the supply for those. The other thing is that I'm doing, which is a little different, is that I've got one idle nozzle. So instead of running the idle nozzles in the manifolds like people do, I'm going to have idle nozzles in the heads. It's been done before. It's worked. This is kind of a combination of my good friend Gary Cooper, Wichita, Kansas. Most of you may have know his son Aaron. They now have the national record at 285 mile an hour in their dragster. In '97, this is kind of the fuel system is basically what we ran in 1997. The other thing is that it's going to be a little different on this, is that I will probably run 100%. 96% is what the A-Fuel cars are allowed to run these days, and I ran 100%, and it was fun, and they sounded just like they wanted to come apart in a car. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be a chaos car. It's going to be just an exhibition match race. I'm not going to run. I can't afford to. I don't have the time to chase and run around doing a lot of stuff. Running out of a 24-foot tag trailer as opposed to the big semi-truck and trailer we had with the green car. So yeah, it's going to be fun. That's the clutch. It's an AFT 9 stand.
How many discs will that have?
It'll be a 3-disc. I'm going to run 3 discs on it. 10-7. It could go to 4, but I don't think we need to do that. We'll just see what, I just want to get this done, make noise, and hell, it may only run 6 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll never have a 7-second funny car.
It's going to sound good and smell good.
It's going to be really, I'm really looking forward to it. And like I said, ultimately, this is kind of a selfish thing. I wanted to do it. And so I'm pretty proud of what I've gotten accomplished. It's taken a long time. Maybe some of you don't know, I run PIR. I'm the general manager of Portland International Raceway, and that takes up a large portion of my time. So, and the fact that I'm old. I don't have the energy I used to have. God, it sucks getting old.
Aging.
But aging, yes.
All
so
right.
That's about it. Any other questions?
We'll see. Actually, if you have questions, pop them in the comments. We will get back to you. I'm pretty quick to get back to you. I'm talking to Ron all the time. So if you got a question about this thing, let us know. Sponsors wanted. Beer supplier, tire supplier, nitro supplier,
clutch discs,
right?
Oil.
Yeah, there you go.
Oil and nitro.
Right on.
Spark plugs.
Thanks, Ron. We will
Thank
be
you.
back. At some point, we're going to be back, and this thing's going to light off. That's going to be big.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll that'll be before the summer's over.
Right on. It's It's going to be fun. All right, thanks.
Thanks.